One of the questions that I get asked all the time is how much do I need to post to get traction on my social media channels? Do I really need to post 3 times a day like everybody's telling me to? The answer to that is really there's no one size fits all, but what I can tell you is that no, you don't have to post 3 times a day like everybody's telling you to. For a local business, that would be a monumental task. What it really all comes down to is predictable consistency. You need to be consistent and you need to be posting at the same time every single week. And then over time, that's what we call predictable consistency, where people can really predict when you're going to be posting. Even nowadays, when you have a piece of content or a business that is posting engaging content, or you have a favorite YouTuber, for example, and they post at the same time, every week, you start to really count on that content. And that's what we want to do with our content for a business, right? So number one, we should be posting engaging content, entertaining content, good, valuable content, right? So we'll talk about that in other videos. But once you have that content, really what it's all about is posting at the same time every single week, right? And having that predictable consistency. And so not only for your users, but for the algorithm too. So I can guarantee you that if you start to post at the same time, on the same day every single week for, it doesn't take that long, 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to start to see more reach, more engagement. You're going to start to see more people viewing your content. So that's what it's all about. It's not so much about how much you post, quality content, and that you're predictable and you're consistent. If you follow those rules, you will have a much better time on social media, right? So I'm going to show you this tool, and I know what you're thinking, like, God, there's so much time in the day. How am I ever going to test every single hour to kind of figure out where my sweet spot is, right? So I'm going to show you a tool in Meta Business Suite. It's called Planner. It's free. Most people don't even know that it exists, but it's going to make your life easier, not only for scheduling. It allows you to schedule your entire week's posts. So you can go in you have your content, you go in on a Sunday night, you can post or schedule all your posts for the entire week. So this really kind of a set it and forget it type of thing. So you don't have to like scramble around and make sure that your schedule is free every Thursday at 3 p.m. if that's going to be your time to post, right? You can come in, like I said, Sunday night, Monday morning, and schedule your entire week's full of posts. And then it's really kind of, you can kind of go on with your life, right? So not only that, is Planner will tell you when your pages are most active, right? So this will kind of narrow down the window. It's not perfect all the time, but it will at least narrow down the window so that you can kind of test around that time. And I'll kind of show you some industry secrets here about that in just a second. So how do we get there, right? So Planner. Like I said, it's in Meta Business Suite. Sometimes you'll find it in this sidebar menu. If you don't see it here, you can go to All Tools and then under Audience Engage, it's right here. So we'll click on Planner, and then it just gives you can view by week or month. You can see here's today, and then the entire week. So you can kind of schedule or come in here and schedule, and you can see here these insights, right? This week, your Instagram followers are most active at this time, right? 8 p.m., right? On Friday. So this is going to be the most active for this particular page, right? It's going to be different for you. And if you can see also that, let's just say, for example, I'm used to posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll come here to Tuesday. You just come here to schedule post, and it right here it's going to tell you or show you your active times. Your active times tomorrow 8 p.m., Thursday at 8 p.m., and look at this, Monday at 9 a.m. in the morning, right? Monday mornings are pretty active for me. So it just kind of gives you, like I said, it's not perfect, but at least it allows you to narrow these windows down, right? So again, you can test these times and see how your engagement is. What I would say is that, test 8 p.m., test 7 p.m., test 6 p.m., test 9 p.m., test 10 p.m. You get what I'm saying? Like, just spend some time and really test certain things, because the more testing you do, the better data you're going to have, and you're really kind of just allows you to narrow down. But at least you don't have to test every hour, every single day for the next 3 weeks, right? To just make sure that you're hitting every hour and you're testing all that. So at least this allows you to narrow this down. You'll also see that Facebook, for this particular account, we're really most active on Instagram, because that's over time we've seen that's where most of the engagement comes from. Although we're working on Facebook, but for this particular account, there's no active time. There's not enough data for Facebook to share that data with us. But you'll see that Instagram, really, this is where we get the most engagement for this particular account. But if it's showing you that 8 p.m. Are the active times for Instagram, then we can say that, all right, so that at least narrow things down. So maybe we'll post an hour before that on Facebook or an hour after that on Facebook, because generally speaking, most people will bounce around from app to app. They'll spend some time on Instagram, then they'll go to Facebook, and then so on and so forth, right? So at least again, it allows us to narrow that window down. One other thing that I would share with you is that, yes, these are the active times. It's going to say 8 p.m. It's always going to show you on the hour. Just know that everybody's seeing this, and everybody, that knows about this predictable consistency knows that what their active time is. Most everybody schedules on the hour. What does that mean? Well, on that hour, it's going to be flooded with content. So industry secret, what I would do is I would go 8:15 or 8:10 or 8:13. Make it a weird time that most people aren't going to think, like, I'm going to post at 8:13 on Tuesday. By posting at a weird time, you're kind of, if everybody kind of rushes in at the same time at 8 p.m. And then, once they kind of trickle through all that content and you're scheduling it at 8:15, you're not going to have much competition or as much competition, right? So if you pick a weird time like 8:16 or 8:18, right? So, very few people are going to be scheduling their posts at 8:18. So use that, kind of off time to kind of sneak your content in. Otherwise, you're just going to be competing with everybody else that's just posting on the hour or every 15 minutes or every half an hour, right? So just pick those weird times. Sometimes that can kind of allow you to sneak through, right? So active times, predictable consistency. This is really kind of self-explanatory. I don't need to go into all this for you, but when you schedule a post, you just choose your video, put your text in, schedule your times. You can schedule Facebook and Instagram. You can click on this active time button. If you lost it for whatever reason, make sure that it's public, and then schedule. So come in here on Sunday night, schedule all your posts for the entire week. That way you don't have to worry about it, and then get some insight around your active times. But really, you don't have to post 3 times a day. You don't have to post 5 times a week. It really differs from industry to industry, from client to client. But really, what it all comes down to, you can post 1 time a week, but that time you post every single week should be predictable, and it should be consistent. And by being consistent, you're going to be predictable, right? See how that works? Predictable consistency. By being consistent, you're going to be able to be predictable, not only from your users, but the algorithm. And anytime you make the algorithm happy, you're going to be rewarded. So that's a little bit of insight on how much you should post for your local business. I'll see you in the next one.